Hi, Bill and Priscilla Park here.
In this video, we're going to cover some major mistakes expat retirees make when choosing to spend the winter of their life in a foreign country.
Number 1, falling in love with a country without conducting proper research. Number 2, buying real estate too soon. Number 3, not understanding the procedure and costs for obtaining resident visas. Number 4, not researching medical care and retirement facilities. And number 5, not considering the distance from family. Let's get started.
For 10 years, we've traveled overseas, spending weeks or months in the same country, searching for the ideal retirement spot and interacting with expats. During this time, we met fellow retirees who have made one or more of these deal breakers, so come with us as we check them out. Number 1, falling in love with a country without conducting proper research. Making a commitment to retire overseas is a complicated process, and it takes more than visiting a country for a week or two to figure out if you'll be happy there for the rest of your life. Of course, first impressions are important, but there is a lot more to your decision-making than the beautiful scenery and the variety of restaurants serving delicious food at cheap prices. We have seen people arrive in a country, often at the suggestion of a friend, or on a whirlwind promotional tour arranged for participants to hit the high spots and meet with realtors, lawyers, and other expats. Within a few days, some have already committed to return and live there on a permanent basis. This kind of hasty decision-making leads to long-term problems as people struggle to settle into a different lifestyle, make new friends, eat different food, possibly learn a new language, and become accustomed to being away from the familiar that they have known for the past 60 or 70 years. A better solution is to live in the country for at least a year before making a decision to apply for long-term visas or buy a home. If that's not possible, at least experience a few months at different times of the year before you rush into anything you might regret later.
Number 2, buying real estate too soon. Buying a home is a huge commitment, regardless of your age or where you are living. And buying a home in a foreign country without doing proper due diligence can be disastrous. We know newly arrived expats who have bought a home with the help of a realtor, only to find out later the realtor didn't divulge important information. This can result in legal problems that can take many months to resolve, or worse yet, the loss of their investment. Buyer beware. In many countries, there are no requirements for realtors to pass tests and obtain a license before hanging up their shingle, so take time to do your research. Also, use resources offered by other expats in the area and rent until you're sure you've found the right area and the right home at the right price.
Number 3, not understanding the procedure and costs for obtaining resident visas. We have found that many countries have increased the cost of visas in the past 10 years, as well as tightening up government regulations. Visas have become a good source of income as more people choose to travel or live abroad. In Mexico, where we are currently living, the process to become a permanent resident starts before you arrive in the country. Then the process can take 4 years, requiring interim renewals, vehicle documentation, address change documentation, etc., etc. Based on our experience here in Mexico, we highly recommend using the services of an immigration attorney, even if you're fluent in Spanish. Government and attorney fees soon mount up, so be sure you're committed to remaining long-term before starting the process.
Number 4, not researching medical care and retirement facilities. If you're like us, you're fit and active. The furthest thing from your mind is that one day you may need some major surgery, visits to specialists such as cardiologists, etc. However, even accidents such as a fall can be dangerous. So speedy Professional medical help is essential. So it's important to ensure that hospitals and medical professionals are available at the budget you can afford. Looking further into the future, make sure assisted living facilities or home nursing care provide a high level of service at a price that fits your budget.
Number 5, not considering distance from family. These days, it seems that everywhere we look, magazines, blogs, videos, podcasts, you name it, are extolling the virtues of living and/or retiring overseas. Companies arrange group travel specifically to explore what are considered the best places to retire. Some people make on-the-spur-of-the-moment decisions to buy property and move. What they often overlook is the distance between their new retirement paradise and their family, in particular, the grandchildren. Over time, Skype just isn't enough, and we've seen couples separate for part of the year or longer so that grandma can be with the grandchildren. We can certainly understand this, having grandchildren living in South Africa. We suggest you think about being snowbirds. By spending 6 months or more near family and the rest of the year at your overseas retirement home, you have the best of both worlds. Here in Ahihik, many snowbirds lease their homes during the summer, which provides a source of income.
And there you have it. 5 common mistakes we've seen expat retirees make. Of course, there are more, but they'll have to wait for another time. Thanks for joining us, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can hear more stories about retiring overseas.